Hi, Mrs. Lemke still. We are looking now at synthetic division, and I have an opening question for you. This question I do not want you to do with long division. I want you to do with something called synthetic division. So if you know what that is, or think you know what it is, I would like you to try that. And when you come back from having the video paused, you can check your answer. Okay, you have to try this by yourself with no resources. Okay, so copy down the question and then pause the video, come back and see if you got it right. Okay, this is what your work should look like. So it looks like a bunch of jibber jabber if you haven't seen synthetic division before, or if you don't remember it. But you do all this little, like this is just a little algorithm, right? And you do this little thing, right, that I can explain in the video in just a second. And then down here is where you find your answer. And then you do need to have written your answer, right? If you just did the part that I referred to as jibber jabber, you haven't actually answered the question that was asked. The question that was asked was about division of polynomials. So your answer should be a polynomial. So if you didn't write this, you didn't quite get it right. You almost got it right. Like you remember synthetic, but you need to remember what it means too. So if you believe that you got the problem right with the video paused, okay, to a level of completion that you think, yes, I could get this right again, then you can be done watching this video. If you did not get this right, then you're going to take notes while watching this video on 2 more examples. And of course, even if you got the first question right, you are welcome to hang out with me here and do some more practice, because practice makes perfect. Okay, so synthetic division, usually students kind of like it because it goes quickly. Okay, one of the downsides of long division, if we go back to our previous video, one of the downsides of this is like, look how much writing that is. That's just so much, right? So much to do. Yikes. Okay, this is like, feels like you're writing on the back of a napkin and you can just like figure stuff out. Okay, so I refer to this as the skybox. Okay, your divisor here is x minus 4. So what you want to think about is, okay, if this divides evenly by 4, or excuse me, if this divides evenly by x minus 4, that means 4 would be a root. So I'm going to put what would be the root. Okay, so whatever would make that part equal to 0. Then you put the coefficients and the constant all in a line. Okay, and if anything is missing, just like we talked about with those other examples, you have to put a 0. So this is my cubic, okay, my to the third, my to the second, my to the first, and my constant. If anything was missing, I'd have to write a 0, okay? Oh, I forgot to say something else. We are only going to be able to use synthetic division if we have a divisor like x minus 4, or like over here, x minus 1, or in the warm-up, x minus 2. It has to be, I mean, there are ways to do synthetic division without what I'm about to say to be true, but we are only covering the cases where your divisor is like one of these. Okay, so if you have x minus a number, then that number goes in the skybox. Okay, and x plus a number, you'd put like negative c in the skybox. Okay, so just bear that in mind. It is a special case that we can use this in. Okay, all right, so now once you have everything all lined up, you got your skybox, you got your coefficients and your constant, then you start. Okay, the algorithm is this, and there are not really, like, there are reasons behind this, but it's not critical that you know those reasons. You can just know the rules. Okay, so you bring down the first number, and then it's multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, so we multiply these, put that answer here, then we add. Then we multiply, and then we add. Okay, and I'm multiplying each time by the 4. I didn't really explain that. Okay, so this 4 times 9 was why I got 36 right here. Okay, now I have measles around the 36. Okay, it's like in its own little archway. Okay, so 4 times 4 is 16. Oh my goodness. And then I need to subtract 7. Okay, and I got 9. So I need to think now, what does that tell me? Well, it tells me my remainder is 9. So x minus 4 did not divide in evenly. In fact, let's walk this through. This is my remainder. This is my constant. This is x to the first. This is x to the second. So my answer to this question is x squared plus 9x plus 4 plus 9 over my divisor. Okay, anytime this comes out to be non-zero, that means that the thing I just had here is not a factor, which means that 4 is not a root or an x-intercept. Okay? So I divided it, but it's not going to really help me to find my roots, okay, if we think about what this unit's about. Okay, let's do this next guy, okay? I want you to try to be a step ahead, okay? So what would you put in the sky box? You would put in a 1. Okay, now what are you going to write next to that? All right, I would write 5, -3, here's the tricky part, 0, and -6. Okay, and that's because you need to represent every term. I don't need to put zeros ahead, but starting with whatever the biggest degree is, like this is to the third, and then I need to the second, to the first, and a constant. Okay, then your algorithm is bring the first number down, and then you multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, so here we are multiplying, here we are adding, here we are multiplying, here we are adding, here we are multiplying, here we are adding. Oh, sad, also not a root if I were thinking about this in terms of polynomials, okay? So my answer to the actual question that was asked, right? Remember, this is all just jibber jabber, right? That is not your answer. You have to interpret that result. Actually answer the question that was asked. Okay, so my answer to the division problem that was given is this line in black. And the blue writing is just showing my work. If you need more practice on synthetic division, there's a whole part of your textbook, lesson 2.3, right around problem 23 and so on, are a bunch of synthetic division problems that you could then check your answers on, okay, because you have access to odd answers for your book. So if you need more practice, please do that. Otherwise, I will see a lot of you in class, and the rest of you will see your own teacher. How about that? Bye.